Injustice. Best movie according to Brett.
No, I did not say that. I said it was good. It was lower rated than I thought. I think it was like a 6.3. Yeah, it's a 6.3 on IMDb, which is pretty low. I love the DC animated movies so much more. As somebody who's a DC fan and puts up with the live action versions, my gosh, the animated movies are so much more fun. Are they not?
They are. I feel like they're so much better.
And this is an alternate Earth story. And basically it says that what happened is the Joker tricks Superman into killing Lois, and then he murders... And then he murders the Joker. And basically decides that he is going to take over control of the world because he knows what's best for it. It's based on the video game Injustice, Gods Among Us, and the story Injustice, Gods Among Us Year One, which was a graphic novel by Tom Taylor. And this was directed by Matt Peters. And I believe Matt Peters also did Apocalypse War, which you might like because that's a Constantine.
I watched both of them.
You have. It's a Constantine story. One of the things that's interesting about this, Anson Mount, who plays Batman, would be a fantastic Batman in real life.
Really?
Look him up. He's tall. Like, he's got that, like, really, really severe chiseled jawline. He's in, he's having his talents wasted on Star Trek Discovery or one of the Star Trek's, crappy Star Trek series right now. He was on the show Hell on Wheels. Really, really good actor. And would absolutely, like, you're going to look at him and be like, holy crap, he would either make a good James Bond or a good Superman.
Yeah.
And then the other person who stars in that movie, that's Justin Hartley, plays Superman. And do you know who Justin Hartley played?
Nope.
He played Green Arrow on Smallville. On live action on Smallville.
Interesting. So maybe they're setting up like a whole new...
It seems to be like the main actors, like the two, like the two actors get like main credit, like in Gotham by Gaslight.
Yeah.
The two lead actors get like Jennifer Carpenter, excuse me, gets main credit along with whoever plays Bruce Wayne in that one. They give those two main actors the main credit, and then everybody else, because a lot of others in the animated characters play more than one role.
Yeah.
But I thought this was I'm not a huge fan of that portrayal of the Joker voice wise, though I did love the line when Superman punches him through the heart, and he says that's a punchline.
Yeah.
That got a legitimate laugh out of me. There's some fantastic dialogue in this movie. There's the scene where Superman plays chess with Mr. Terrific because he wants to use his T-spheres. And Mr. Terrific, they literally have like all the moral debates. He's like, well, we get rid of gun. He's like, I want to stop gun violence. He goes, he's like, well, what about cigarettes?
Yeah.
Are we going to stop people? Like, they really do get into like deep moral philosophical discussions.
They did.
That you wouldn't, and this is why I think a lot of people miss out by not watching the animated movies. I would argue that the questions raised in the dialogue in this movie is better than just about anything you're going to get from the live action depictions of these characters.
Yeah.
Like, way more, they're given way more latitude to treat the audience as if they know what they're talking about and not dumb it down for the wider audience.
Yep.
And I think that plays to its credit.
Yep.
What was your, was there a part that you liked more than others? Like, a character that you liked more than others?
Okay, I like all the killing parts, and then, yeah, I like the violence.
Of course you do.
But I laughed real hard when... This is gonna sound morbid, but I laughed real hard when Nightwing, he died and then became Deathwing. I laughed so hard. I was like, why?
Deathwing, really? Yeah, that's that scene was really funny though. He's like it's like psychedelic, and he's all, yeah. That scene was great. Damien, like, I would love to see them do a movie with live action Damien, but I don't know if there's like. It would be very hard to get to do the physicality of that role. Well,
you can hire somebody who maybe like Tom Holland, like somebody
who looks younger than he is. Yeah.
I think it's possible, but you need somebody who's really energetic.
Yeah.
And like Tom Holland, like if you do a background check on him, he did gymnastics at a young age.
And they have to have a young energy about them to play that role.
Yeah. Young and stubborn.
the guy who plays Ra's al Ghul on this, Farron Tahir, he's a really, really good live action actor.
Yeah.
One of the things that's interesting about this is when they choose to use voice actors and when they choose to use ones with more actual stage or film experience. I know that this is one of those things that I think is cool that nobody else really gives a crap about.
Yeah.
But I always get, because I'll be like listening to it, and for somebody who's deaf in one ear, I still like I'll hear voices and I'm like, oh, I know who that is, and I love that. Like I am a serial IMDb'er, as you can see me looking up. I literally have it brought up here.
He has it on his phone as an app,
and I use it all the time.
It's like his Bible.
It is. Edwin, this is why I know that I was good for this job. The lady who plays Harley Quinn, that her and Green Arrow probably had my favorite dynamic in this whole thing when she's like, the Arrow Cave.
She was like, why don't you just call it the Quiver?
The Quiver. And he's like, that's
actually a good
sense.
name.
Yes, they had a fantastic dynamic back and forth there. And the fact that she's just violent the whole time. And she's like, I'm a hero now.
She's like, look, I'm helping.
And another thing that I loved is, okay, we just got done talking a crap ton about Joss Whedon and all the stuff that happened with the actor who plays Cyborg.
Ray
Fisher. How he didn't want to say the line "booyah" in the movie because he felt like it was racist, but that line was just intricate.
Wait, really? He said that? He didn't want to say it because he thought it was
stereotypical.
No, but that's what Cyborg said. And in
it was
Teen Titans, like the cartoon, he says that all the time.
Exactly, and he doesn't realize that isn't. That's not a culture. That's a cultural phenomenon that goes well past race. Everyone in the '90s said "booyah." I said "booyah" in the '90s. I look nothing like Ray Fisher. It's just, and that character's always said that. So what you notice is he says it like 3 times in the movie.
I never caught on to it.
He said it like 3 times in the Cyborg, and this does.
Yeah.
And you get this feeling that there's no agenda because they're not forced into it because these have less cultural relevance than the live action ones do. So they're allowed to be more intricate with or adaptable to the character. Notice that they killed off Lois. You're not if this is a live action one, feminists would be screeching and saying that they were fridging the character. That's a term that they use, fridging, because there's a famous comic strip. I don't remember if it was Daredevil or who it was, but comes home and his wife was killed and left in a fridge. What it really is, all it really is it's the hero's call to action, and it's a connection of them to humanity. But because identity politics ruins everything, you can't have that in modern day films. So you notice that all of the agenda is driven out of these projects, and it allows you to just tell a good story.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I feel like it would be a good story no matter what if it's animated, because I like DC animated films. I feel like they're so much better than the live action.
I think when these now that we're doing this weekly now, whenever a live action whenever an animated DC movie comes out, also I'm preferential to the movies because it's less of a time investment. You can rewatch if need be. We'll watch all of the.
I watch like pretty much most of them.
All of the animes. The guy who plays Mr. Terrific, Edwin Hodge, his brother, that's Aldous Hodge's brother.
No way, really?
Yep, and Aldous Hodge is going to play swapped Hawkman in the Black Adam movie.
Really?
Yes, he's playing Hawkman. Whatever. Like I said, the live action ones have agenda written all over it.
You know what?
The Catwoman relationship was nice in this one too.
I liked it because like Superman came, he's like, he needs you, and he's like, what about everybody else? And he was like, no, because Nightwing died, and she was like, Dick. Yep. And it reminded me of American Dad.
All I could think of was just like she's in the booth like because we're children, we're 12-year-olds at heart. We can't help it.
But it reminds me of the episode of American Dad where like Roger falls in love with Dick, which is Scan's coworker, and like every time like. Because they broke up in that episode. Every time when Roger would miss Dick, he would just go like, Dick! And I just remember that.
So I never played the Injustice games. Did you play them?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. I know they're based off that night, but I don't remember if the graphic novel came before the games or if the games
I think the graphic novel came out before
the games.
I can double check.
I know that this is like I think this was only the first or second of these movies to get like an R rating. I believe the other one was the other I think Apocalypse War was the other one Gotham by Gaslight was the other one that got an R rating because of all the death scenes involving Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
I was right. Anson Mount is the second actor to play Christopher Pike in Star Trek and voice Batman in an animated series. He was live action Black Bolt in Marvel Comics. That was from
What's Black Bolt?
That was from that show that failed really, really badly, Inhumans. There was like only 12 episodes or like 10 episodes of it and nobody watched it. Inhumans was bad. So I just think people should go and watch this. Like if you're like I make a lot of time, like I spend a lot of time whenever we're doing this stuff talking about the things that I like about the live action ones, and there is stuff that I like there, but if you want to get like a more complete enjoyable viewing experience that is far more comic book accurate and far more it shows far more deference to the comics. It's much more respectful of the material. Go and watch the animated DC live actions, the animated DC movies.
Yeah, they're so much better. I feel like you get a better storyline, and they have attention to details to each character.
I was less of a fan of the ending of this one. I didn't
like the end.
The ending, the way they bring it to a close with Superman wasn't really the strongest thing they could have done. But
yeah.
And that's probably where this rating comes from. Like I said, this is only rated like a 6.3. This is not on the higher end of their animated movies.
Yeah.
Not as bad as The Killing Joke, which was one of the most highly anticipated and biggest letdowns of their animated movies. Just
I didn't like that one.
That story is so famous that I don't think that there was any way they were going to do that justice. It's like it would be like trying to remake The Dark Knight Returns now.
Okay, and also I searched it up. So correction, the video game came out first.
Yeah,
and the comic book was based on it. It was a prequel.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. Do you think they're going to do a live action for any of these animated movies?
Well, one thing I was going to say is like one of the reasons that this works so well is because so much of it is actual superhero powers being used that would cost a gazillion dollars.
Yeah.
The reason why the shows always end up being melodramatic is they just don't have the budget, so it becomes one big scene of Superman saving someone, and then a bunch of scenes of people talking in hallways. That's the joke about the CW shows. It's people talking as they walk down hallways, or in Superman and Lois's part, it's them talking next to their lockers, and Superman and Lois talking at the dinner table.
Yeah.
You can't... I don't think that there's a way to financially adapt one of these stories that well without it costing more than it would be worth to be profitable.
That's true. Netflix does the same thing. Like... one of my favorite cartoon series, which is called Winx Club, they made a live action remake that's called the Winx Saga.
I've heard Neon and Geeky talk about it.
Oh, it's so terrible because like
so bad.
Bloom is such a she's a raging bitch in that series, and then they race swapped everybody. So Musa is supposed to be Asian because she's if you did a background story on Musa, she was based on Lucy Liu, and then
I love Lucy Liu.
Yeah, Lucy Liu's great.
I love her in Kill Bill and Elementary. Also proof that you can race and gender swap and not have it be awful by not making it a big deal.
Exactly.
She plays John Watson or Joan Watson in the show Elementary.
Yep, I like that one.
Yep.
But also, they were supposed to have a character named Flora. Flora is based on Jennifer Lopez, but they replaced her, and they replaced her and changed it into a whole new character because they wanted a fat character, and her name was Tara.
So that one was based on Lizzo?
I don't know. No, like Tara's a white chick. So basically the whole cast is just white, excluding Aisha. She was the only black character.
And they named her Aisha.
No, Aisha is based on one of the characters, but she's not the original characters. She came in later seasons, but I was so mad they didn't have Tekna. Tekna was my favorite, and she was based on the singer Pink.
Oh.
But they didn't do it right.
Imagine they got the actual actor. Like, imagine they actually got Pink and Jennifer Lopez
and Lucy
Liu to come in. That'd be. It's like who remembers the not the crappy Elizabeth Banks Charlie's Angels, but the good Charlie's Angels with what was it? It was like Drew Barrymore, Lucy Liu, and Cameron Diaz. That's how you make Charlie's Angels. There's got to be a way to make that now.
I don't think so.
Don't make. Yeah, they would never be allowed.
They'll never make it. But the only reason why
men can't like it. Men are not allowed to like it.
The only reason why I brought it up because like they did have like CGI moments, but only towards the end. So do you think like they're gonna do the same thing where like they're trying to budget the whole CGI thing all the way to the end if they ever made a live action remake?
Yeah, they save it for the big like last brouhaha at the end. What's the joke always? It's like it's always a sky beam. Mm-hmm. It's always a freaking sky beam.
It's always aliens.
It's always aliens, and it's always just a big beam coming from the sky. The funny thing is, the first time I ever heard that term, I was watching a really bad CW sci-fi show called Star-Crossed, and the last scene in the show is literally a giant blue sky beam as that was happening.
Isn't Star-Crossed about like the guy that has an alien, or he's an alien?
They like crash land from like an alien from like another planet, and then they're like quarantined. Yeah,
and he falls in love with a human girl.
Yes, it was only like 12 episodes long.
I think I watched the first episode and I was like, okay, I'm done.
It was I watched it because there was a very good use of a song in the end called it's a Stand By Me cover by a band called KI Theory that it's probably one of my favorite songs of all time. So
hear this, CW and any other TV show networks, if you use a correct song that's a cover, not made by the real band.
I would argue that it's not even the same song because it changes the song so intensely. I'll play it for you later. It's the original song is the Benny King song "Stand By Me," and the KI Theory is like it's like a deep industrial rock version of it. That's very, very good.
No, that kind of reminds me of Pump Kids, like for Peacemaker, they had that one song.
Yep, of Pumped Up Kicks. Yep.
Yeah,
it's like that. In that song has since been used in like it was used in like the trailer for the movie Brick Mansions. Yeah. It was used in the show The Following. It's one of those songs that somebody did such a good job with it that it got pushed around to a bunch of other stuff. So
you heard it here, TV show networks and movie networks. If you want Brett's money, use the song correctly. I'm
a sucker for good montages, okay? I make no apologies for that. I'm a sucker for
old man.
No, man, well, the thing is, though, is now that stuff, it used to be very expensive to do that. Now they don't have to do that as much because a lot of the newer bands will, I'm guessing, like let them use it because it's good promotion for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is that. So basically, would you recommend people going and seeing Injustice?
Yeah, you can watch it on HBO Max, so you don't have to leave your home. You can watch it. It's like a good sit through movie. But the ending, as we said, it kind of sucked because he was supposed to go to jail, but he was just floating.
Well, he does go to. I think the implication that wasn't the part. It was more. It was like it was just. It was very, very poor storytelling, the way they brought in the alternate, and I'm trying not to do too many spoilers. We're not doing spoilers here.
For this one, we're not doing spoilers. That's the only spoiler I'll give you.
But in general, the movies, I mean, it's not really a spoiler. He's not going to stay bad at the end of the movie. So.
It's just dumb because like when they brought in a special somebody.
Did you see Red Son?
Yeah.
I have not seen it yet.
Red Son, I don't know. I didn't like it.
A lot of those ones, like you weren't a fan when they were using the word fascist because it reeks of modern day terminology.
Yeah.
But it worked so well because it really does show him kind of descending into this. It starts out as just wanting to save everybody, but it slowly becomes do as I say or else. And they do a good job of like. The emotional beats are there. Like, for instance, when Damian says, like, you did the right thing by killing the Joker, he stops for a second and is like, why am I... This kid, this very, very young, very damaged person thinks I did the right thing. Maybe I didn't do the right thing. But he doesn't look past it. I also thought Wonder Woman was out of character.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, I'm like, this kind of sucks. I wish, like, it was a little bit better.
I also like it because they use the romantic angles, but they don't make it too big of a story because it just doesn't work in animation. So you have romance as a backdrop, but it's not like the focus of the movie, right? Like you're not going there, like you're not going to have to sit through like I watched The Dark Knight Rises the other day, and that scene, there's a scene where him and the character of Miranda, I don't remember her last name. Oh God. The woman that's in that the one who plays Talia al Ghul, but that's not her name during the movie. Played by oh gosh, I'm gonna have to look it up because it's gonna bother me. Maria Cotillard.
Mm-hmm.
She's one of the Nolan staples.
Okay.
But I'm just we're looking it up live on air.
Yeah, we're looking live on air while I look at.
Yep.
We don't talk about Bruno lyrics. Because apparently Google wants to give me a Japanese one, and if you Google translate it, it doesn't do it correctly.
I've been doing so well with remembering stuff lately. Marion Cotillard. Miranda Tate, right? That's her name. Yeah. So I was like, was it Miranda? But she's Talia al Ghul. Like they have like her and Christian Bale, like they have a really uncomfortable sex scene in that movie that just doesn't fit. So what I like about the animated movies is it tends to, it doesn't waste time doing that. It's not necessary. So I would give it a recommend. Not the best ending, but I do think it's worth taking the time to go see.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Yep.
But I do like the DC Dark Justice ones better.
Well, you're a Constantine guy. Girl. You're a Constantine girl. I just misgendered you. I apologize.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. I need to wear a pin that says, "These are my pronouns.
Yes.
Respect them."
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.